This watch brand just did something that no one else has done. They're now offering their best watch in not one, not two, not three, but 4 different sizes. Hello there, my name is Kieran, welcome to Top Tier Ticker. I hope you're having a good day. This here is one of the most exciting things I've seen a watch brand do, because size is no longer a factor. Well, not for this watch anyway. You see, Erebus, the brand founded by Jody over at Just One More Watch and his business partner Steve, just released 3 brand new versions of the Erebus Ascent. 3 new sizes that now mean this watch can accommodate pretty much any wrist size. The original version came in at 39mm, which was no doubt a safe option for this style, but inevitably there would be people having to compromise when it comes to the size. Either you'd want something a bit bigger or a bit smaller. Fear not, Erebus has you covered. We now have a new 41mm version of the Ascent, a new 36mm version, and a new 34mm version, meaning that wrist sizes from as little as 4 inches all the way up to 8 inches now have an option that will fit them best. Now, I have already reviewed the Erebus Ascent on the channel. I reviewed the 39mm Aventurine version just last month, and well, I was incredibly impressed with it. I feel like Erebus struck gold with the Ascent release, quickly becoming one of the best Garda or everyday watches on the market, because these watches are not missing a single specification and they cost less than your average Seiko diver. So the plan today is to give you a quick review of the Erebus Ascent, just in case it's your first time seeing it. Then we'll go through each of the sizes one by one, showcasing the differences between each size, how they wear, and the different dial options. And then at the end, I'll put all of the differences and specifications together on one shot so you can see everything easily. But quickly, before we get into the watches, these are only on loan from Erebus, so this video is not sponsored. And make sure you're subscribed to the channel. We're officially on the road to 100,000 subscribers this year, and I'd love to have you join our little community. So, the Erebus Ascent is clearly a culmination of years worth of experience from both Jody and Steve. They've delivered almost everything an enthusiast could want with this model. Some of the best finished steel you'll likely see under $500, Miyota 9000 series movements with colour matched date wheels, quick adjust clasps that basically guarantee a perfect fit, exceptionally well executed dials with massive choice when it comes to colour and materials, great low light visuals thanks to the use of BGW9, a swimmable water resistance at 100 meters thanks to the screw down crown and case back, and now 4 different sizes so the watch can look great for your specific wrist size. The quality of the Ascent impressed me straight out of the box. The dials here feel carefully designed and well put together, the large handset here offers excellent legibility, and what this watch does better than almost any other, versatility. These are designed to be able to go anywhere, do anything. Wash the car, go down to the pub, out on a hike, even go out for dinner with the family. These watches will rarely look out of place. There's enough detail and polish in here for the watch to work as a dress watch if you need it to, but then enough colour and legibility for the watch to work as a casual option too. So if you need an affordable watch for the collection that sort of has every angle covered, one that you can reach for with confidence every single day, then the Ascent is one of the best options, no doubt. And now with the new choice of sizes, it becomes even more compelling. So let's go through these different sizes then. 3 new sizes to show you, and the original version too. We'll go from smallest to largest, so we'll start off with the 34mm. First thing to mention here is that although these watches have been shrunk, they definitely feel and look the same as their bigger brothers. Putting the 34mm next to the 41mm, for example, aside from the elements on the dial looking a bit more squished together, they proportionally look very similar. The shape of the case, the size of the hands, even the look and feel of the bracelet. The only thing I've noticed design-wise that's different is that this version is the only one that doesn't feature a chapter ring. The minute track is printed directly onto the dial instead, but they've no doubt done a good job at transitioning the feel of the watch to a smaller palette. Case diameter here comes in at 34mm, lug to lug comes in at 39.6mm, and the case thickness comes in at 10.8mm. This watch does wear slightly too small for my 6.5 inch wrist, but then again, I don't think I'm the target audience here. I think wrist sizes of 5.5 inch and below is where this watch would work best, although I must admit, this watch is undeniably comfortable because it's so small. The lug width here has also been shrunk down to 18mm. I like that they went for this size and not something smaller, because there's plenty of options when it comes to 18mm strap options. This 34mm version is the only Ascent where the Jubilee is the only option. You get a choice of bracelet style with every size from here on out. Now you get 5 dial options with the 34mm, most of which are bright and fun. I suspect Erebus are aiming this watch at the ladies, or something to buy whilst you keep the wife sweet whilst you buy one of the bigger versions for yourself. Overall, Erebus has managed to capture that Ascent quality in a much smaller case size. Now, the size I think a lot of people are going to be excited for, the 36mm. This of course was the size of the legendary Rolex Datejust for decades, so I think naturally this is a size people appreciate. I feel like this one is the most unusual Ascent of the 4 sizes now, because this is the smallest size that still comes with a 20mm lug, meaning that the transition from bracelet to case feels a lot straighter. For example, putting the 36 next to the 41, you can see how the 41 is much wider at the head of the watch, whereas the 36 just feels more straight. Also note that the clasp on the 36 is slightly smaller than the 39 and 41 versions. Case diameter here comes in at 36mm, lug to lug comes in at 41.9mm, and the case thickness is 10.9mm. I think this one looks awesome on my 6.5-inch wrist. It has that vintage look about it in terms of the proportions here, and for an everyday watch that you want to quietly go about its business, that's what this one will definitely offer. Now with this one you get a choice of either Oyster style or Jubilee style for the bracelet. Just note that the prototype I have for the Oyster has positive end links, whereas the full production version will have negative end links. That is, the bracelet sits within the case rather than extending out. And of course you get a choice when it comes to dial options here. You now have 8 choices with what I'd say are more male targeted colours. Now the 39mm was the original size of the Ascent. I do feel like this one has the best proportions in general, which makes sense considering the Ascent was originally designed to be this size. Case diameter comes in at 39mm, lug to lug comes in at 45mm, and case thickness is 11.2mm. I think this one is the perfect size for my wrist in terms of proportions. It has plenty of wrist presence but still doesn't get in the way. You also get a choice of Jubilee style or Oyster style here, with the Oyster style now featuring positive end links as standard. Again, this one has a 20mm lug opening. This time though the watch feels less straight with a bit more curvature at the head of the watch. We also see the most choice when it comes to dial options with 12 variants. There is no doubt something for everyone here, with mineral dials, fume, helix and even enamel. And then we have the big dog, 41mm. This one is no doubt for those of you who have a larger wrist, as these watches do feel substantially bigger than the 39, even though it's only 2mm bigger in size. Case diameter here comes in at 41mm, lug to lug comes in at 47mm, and case thickness comes in at 11.1mm. This watch no doubt still looks fine on my 6.5-inch wrist. However, in terms of comfort, it doesn't wear as well on me as the other options. As this is an everyday watch, you want it to almost disappear for the day until you need it, which for me it just doesn't. And that's why Erebus have released so many different sizes here. The choice of bracelet remains, although note that this is still 20mm in size, meaning that the bracelet is the exact same size on the 36 and 41mm versions. Erebus has obviously done this because 20mm is the most popular size when it comes to straps, which is something I think was a good move. In terms of dial options, you have 8 to choose from here, with a slightly different lineup than the 8 you had with the 36. You still have helix, enamel, fume and venturine, but the other mineral dials are absent. Now I can't speak for all dials because I only have 7 of them here in front of me, but all of the ones I have are very well executed. The blue enamel of the 34 has a beautiful hue that you only really get from enamel. The fume finish to the blue 36 is incredibly dynamic and offers a lot of light play. The Tiger Eye 39 gives off vintage dress watch vibes, no doubt, and the red helix of the 41 is absolutely gorgeous. My favourite of the lot though is actually the white dial helix on the 36. It just looks so sharp and crispy. Then you see that beautiful helix pattern when you get up close. Now I'll quickly run you through a few things that I don't like, although truth be told there's very little. That 20mm lug width does look a bit awkward on the 36mm. The shinier dials like the blue fume can get in the way of legibility sometimes, and I wish the dial options were a bit more uniform across each model. For example, why is there no white helix in 39 or 41mm, and then just a random blue helix at 41mm that you can't get with the other models? It sort of contradicts the point of the watch, which is to not have to compromise. But let's put all of this information on a chart and work out which one will work best for you. Of course, the case diameter and lug to lug scales up with each version, although the case thickness remains about the same. That's because all of these watches are using the exact same movement, the Miyota 9015. You'll just notice that the date window is repositioned on each size. So if you think you've found your next watch today, let's talk about price. Every single watch you've seen today today costs between $349 and $399. This is a pre-order price that is exactly $100 off full retail. Erebus are offering this $100 discount for exactly 1 month's time. Then the price will go up. As this is a pre-order, you will have to wait for the watch. I'm told mid-July is the expected delivery date, so you can either wait till July and pay full price and get the watch delivered straight away, or get yourself a cheeky $100 discount and wait for a couple of months. Or just do neither of them and be happy with what you've already got. But I know most of you aren't capable of that because you've got the watch enthusiast disease. Also, to my British brothers, if you pay in pounds, that includes all taxes and import fees. So the price on the Erebus website in pounds is the price you pay. You'll find a link below to the Erebus Ascent page. Go and see if they have one that you like. If you can't find one, that says more about you than it does about Erebus. I'd love for you to hit like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you in the next one, guys. Bye for now.